Successful innovators are highly optimistic. They are able to embrace failure rather than seeing it as a setback. They can use trial and error to persevere through to implementation. Studies have shown that optimistic children don't give up when presented with a challenging task. They actually increase their capabilities through the experience, while pessimistic children give up, lose confidence, and drop behind. The best creative outcomes come from persevering through challenges like this. Many inventions are creative accidents that emerge from the trial and error process. The microwave came about when an engineer working for a defence contractor in the 1940s noticed that a chocolate bar in his front pocket started to melt when he was using a magnetron, a device that generates radio waves. He then pointed the magnetron at a raw egg, and the egg exploded. He pointed it at popcorn kernels, and they popped. Only an optimistic mindset is open to these connections and sees them through to implementation. Thomas Edison once said, "I am not discouraged because every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Many of life's failures are from people who do not realise how close they were to success when they give up. The Wright brothers found relatively simple, low-risk ways to fail fast and fail safely. This gave them immediate feedback. Rather than jumping off buildings, as other inventors had done, they built kites to trial designs and used a wind tunnel to test early flying machine prototypes. Given that somewhere between 70 to 90% of innovations typically fail, Agile Innovation has enabled more rapid prototyping through faster trial and error. The lean startup approach to innovation has also introduced the idea of a minimum viable product, or a simple unpolished version of a product that can be tested to gather feedback and accelerate learning. Learning to not be afraid to trial something and embrace failure can in turn build resilience. The secret is to learn from your mistakes. One of Google's 8 innovation principles is never fail to fail. According to this principle, you're going to fail sooner or later, so when you do, you need to turn that into a learning opportunity. A lot comes down to the mindset and language we use. Think about how if a ship heads to port and is blown off course, it isn't seen as a failure, it just means there needs to be target correction to get back on track. In the same way, the language used in an organisation in response to failure is a crucial decider for creative outcomes. Most of us process 400 to 800 words per minute, so the process can start with learning to turn those thoughts into constructive building blocks for creative ideas. So what is your dominant mindset? I'm going to give you only 10 seconds to look at a sentence and count how many times the letter F appears. So how many did you see? 3 is normal. 4 is very good. And if you saw 6, you were a genius. But more importantly, what did you say to yourself when you found out the reality that there were always 6? Did you think, how could I be so stupid? This activity is not about how many you could see, but rather how you respond to failure. How did you go with that? How quickly could you recover? Research on resilience after Hurricane Katrina found that where individuals were optimistic, they became more empowered. They were more likely to take a practical problem-solving approach and more likely to cope with the challenges. Empowered optimism is not blind hope or a simple positive thinking, but the ability to develop resilience to overcome challenges, to get back up, and even be prepared to start over again. Many people struggle with real design thinking because they are not prepared to go back into the creative mess and start again with a process. Optimism allows for abstraction, the final torrance attribute for creative thinking. This is an ability to imagine the full end result and pull everything together as a complete story rather than getting stuck on the individual elements. In the end, the optimist's passion can be contagious. As Harvard professor Rosabeth Moss-Kanter has revealed, the belief you can win creates momentum, which then improves your chances of success. Civil rights movement activist Rosa Parks was able to dream of a better future and believed that one person can change the world. She persevered through the challenges, claiming that the only thing she got tired of was giving in. Embracing optimism is the final and overriding mindset needed to enable the full creative process.